When we work online, do a lot of content creation, and have a following, we see a lot of diverse human behavior. Just like working in customer service or sales, you don't realize what types of people are out there until you start dealing with all sorts of people from all walks of life coming through and having interactions with you. This week, I came across some interesting comments on both of my Instagram and TikTok. Particularly, I ended up blocking somebody on my Instagram, someone who was following me, leaving very strange comments. They seem to want to be in that space and be part of the community, but almost every single one of their comment was a personal attack towards me. A lot of times we leave comments because even negative comments help to propel algorithm. At that point, we want to draw the line where somebody's comments are consistently being unhelpful and leaving a negative impact in the community as well as to the creator, myself, who's putting in a lot of my time to bring valuable lessons to the public for free. I know that I make money from my business and social media is how I generate new clients. However, a lot of the content that I put out are geared towards being helpful rather than keeping people addicted, keeping them on a hamster wheel of self-development, feeling better, feeling validated without much change at all. Many years ago, I had to make a decision as a coach and a content creator what kind of leader I was going to be in the public space. I could either choose the easy way out of posting what people want to hear, just help them feel validated, tell them that they're the victim and that the world is wrong and they need to air out their injustice trauma, creating that binary division between the audience and their antagonist would have made my life as a content creator, entrepreneur, and coach much easier, because that type of addictive content is what gathers the most momentum the fastest and sells the best. These are the types of self-development content that you see that the moment they post, they get 500,000 to 1 million views. Their validation, magic pill, easy solution for a very complex problem, while creating a division between the person who feels victimized, the audience, versus who they see as their antagonist. Hey, changemakers, if you've been watching a lot of my videos consistently, I know that we share similar value system and alignment. Today's video is about binary thinking, because people who leave those types of comments or feel offended by types of content that I create, which is more geared towards the thoughts and processes that are going to help you heal your victim mindset, get out of your oppressive prey mindset, and become more privileged. What it takes for you is to get out the followers victim mindset to become the leader by embodying the privileged mindset. So if you're ready for that, this video is for you. People leave nasty comments on creators' profiles and on their social media content. That's basically demonstrating their trauma. I saw this post today. Actually, I shared it on my Instagram story by another creator who posts really good content. Much of the issues this week started out with me stitching another content creator who I respect, who I believe gives the inconvenient truth that actually helps people succeed in their financial generational wealth building. And his name is Jim Chuang. A lot of people have posted below my video upset that I was being capitalistic, white supremacist, and how dare I share a male creator's content. I found this ridiculous, as credit needs to be credited where credit is due. If a woman feels that she's been receiving injustice treatment all her life, that oppressed person will turn around and create these binary categories and decide that all men are evil. Of course, there's a generalized experience that we women go through. However, that kind of binary thinking is a trauma response. And it's a type of mindset that keeps you alone in the scarcity mindset and scarcity mode, struggling and fighting by yourself against the systems that you by yourself cannot overturn. What is healing and elevating? It's becoming more conscious, Becoming more conscious is understanding what's healthy and what's not healthy, what's helpful and what's not helpful. Basically, it's healing your thinking process, how you experience the world, and how you make decisions. Binary thinking looks like this. Patriarchy or being anti-patriarchy is being anti-men. This is an example of binary thinking. It is not true. You can be advocating for women's rights, equity, and justice, and at the same time, not be anti-men. Being anti-patriarchy is saying no to the system that systematically oppresses women through the implicit and unconscious biases of what we do every single day. Us, ourselves, and the people around us, the people who run companies, the people who uphold the law, how the law was written. These are just examples of what we're against when we say we are anti-patriarchy. Does that mean that you need to be anti-men? There are behaviors that we are against. There are certain patterns that we are against. There are certain tendencies that we are against. But that does not make us anti-men. If this is a hard one to understand because your experience has been so traumatizing, then you have to see it's unfortunate that you've never had positive experiences with men. I have. So if you haven't had that and you walk around with that binary thinking, then you will not be open to the types of people who actually are capable of helping you. You isolate yourself, and when you're isolated and you see the world through fearful eyes with hypervigilance, then your life will continuously be a series of trauma. If this is harder to understand, then let's look at white supremacy. Let's look at capitalism. If white supremacy is wrong and that's something that you're against, are you against all white people? Who do you need by your side to overthrow an oppressive system? You need people who are more privileged. White people had to advocate for anti-slavery, for slavery to end. It couldn't have been people who were enslaved, only them advocating against slavery. They needed people who were more privileged, who stood by them and wanted to end that for them. So if you are saying no to white supremacy, but you're anti-white people or anti-anybody who could potentially be on that side of the spectrum, a lot of people think that I uphold white supremacy because of their past experiences with Asians. So the moment I say something that isn't 100% validating their experiences, when I am proposing that staying in that oppressed mindset is actually traumatizing you even further, that you need to start thinking from the perspective of somebody who is more privileged, and then all your behaviors will shift. The moment I send something like that, or the moment I post content that is money-centric, that's capitalism, I get comments where people say, knew it, Asian woman, you uphold white supremacy, you're deeply racist. These people do not even take the time to go through my other content, because when you are traumatized, you come from a binary thinking perspective. When you're that triggered in your body, you cannot see any other perspective than the one that already matches your existing perspective. So then you have a constant cycle of recurring issues in your life. The loneliness, the isolation, the scapegoating, etc. You're not able to leave your own life patterns because the way your mind is directed is only focusing on antagonism, people who are against you, and hypervigilance, thinking that people by default are against you. Being aware is not the same as hypervigilance. Now let's look at capitalism. If you're anti-capitalism, are you anti-money? Are you anti-corporate? Are you anti-economy in general? Then how do you expect yourself to survive and be happy in the human condition, in the society that we live in? Would you be happier as a complete outcast, as somebody who completely rejects everything, the whole system, how our society is run? My proposal is that when you start to become more nuanced and you start healing the binary thinking, then you become open. You become more connected within yourself. You become more aware of your shadow self. You become much more aware of your deepest trauma. You become overall a much better person to engage with. If you give people negative experiences because you are reactive due to your past experiences, you push people away. And as humans, we are social animals. You can't survive alone. The words that you say, how you antagonize people, and how you show up in these social spaces, whether it's online or in person, shows exactly what trauma is running your life. And that mindset is actually what's creating the results that you're experiencing in your life. Thank you so much for watching today. What do you think about this video? Has it helped you? Did it trigger you? Because if it triggered you, then you need to sit with it and contemplate what part of it triggered you and why it triggered you. If you only seek validation of your current existing mindset and worldview, then you cannot grow. You may have been upset at certain people in your life, leaders who are yes people. You are only looking for yes people in your life. You are reflecting the types of people that you call toxic or narcissistic. You are on the same spectrum as those people. The binary thinking is judgment. When you judge people, you cannot connect. You cannot be one with yourself because that judgment is also self-inflicted. You cannot connect with other people. You see people as enemies only. And then you cannot build a network. You cannot be connected. This is a time for you to reflect and help yourself. Do what's right for you. Do what's helpful rather than what gives you relief in the moment. The hypervigilance that makes you feel like you're being safe, but it's actually driving you to more rock bottoms and facing the harsh realities. This month in June, we've got 2 workshops. Power and Romance 2, Finding the One in Patriarchy, which is all focused on romantic relationships and the power hierarchy and dynamics. The link is down below. And then we have an in-person workshop in Barcelona, which is all to do with using your body to release patriarchal trauma, low self-esteem, because how you present yourself physically is 55% of communication. The moment you walk into a space, people will notice immediately how you carry yourself and how they can treat you. They can either respect you, disrespect you based on how you show up. When you heal your body through your posture, how you present yourself, how you assert yourself while maintaining the femininity, you radically accelerate in the good girl to the bad bitch journey. So if you're in Europe or you can be in Barcelona or you just want to take a vacation and might as well add in some coaching, then I will see you on June 26th in Barcelona. The link is also down in the description. Also check out in the description box for other resources that will help you accelerate in this journey. Thanks for watching, Changemakers. It's Julia Cha. See you in my next video.